following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Day 3 Wrestling Podcast. It is June the 8th, 2023. It's me. It's Getting Fatter Nash. Joined by my co-host in the Fatsiders.
Hey, yo.
That was actually really good.
That was good.
That was actually really good. It's like we rehearsed that, but we didn't rehearse it.
We didn't rehearse that one.
We're professionals. Well, at least on the top of the screen, we're professionals.
Go fuck yourself.
That guy down there, I'm not so sure about.
No, not really. Go fuck yourself.
Trapped in the Closet is with us this week, pulling his best R. Kelly impersonation.
Oh God, no. Move on. No, we're not doing that.
It's like an interrogation light. Look at that thing.
Yeah,
Where were you? And we'll be joined momentarily by the
J-Lo.
I think I can say this because it's Pride Month. The gayest member of the Take Thru Wrestling Podcast.
Yes.
It ain't close.
There he is.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that any week, like, because it's factual. We're not saying it like as an insult. We're saying it factually.
Yeah.
That also tracks.
So I think we're okay. I think we're okay doing that.
You want to hear a joke real quick before we get started?
Oh boy.
Christ, sure.
So I just forwarded on my wallet. Now I have gas money.
Oh my God. That's fucking terrible. That is
Ridiculous.
fucking
Hey, intern Mark.
Yeah.
Shut up, you idiot.
fucking brutal. You're like, seriously?
You don't like that? Was it cute? Was it adorable? No.
It was terrible.
Anybody?
No.
All night. Okay.
The whole thing sucks.
Thank you, intern Mark. We polled the audience. All of them told us to tell you hot garbage.
Yeah, that wasn't good at all, man.
You know what else isn't good? I guess let's start with the negative of the week. R.I.P. Iron Sheik. You guys heard the 10 bell salute prior to us joining the live show here. Sucks. 81 years old.
Very full life. Very full life.
And he always will leave us with the greatest tweet of all time. Fuck you, Hulk Hogan. So I mean,
yeah, obviously we talked about him on 3CT tonight. For me, I was born in 85. I really started watching wrestling when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So it's the early 90s. So by that point, his wrestling career was over, at least at the tail end. So I don't have many like wrestling memories of him. I will say and I mentioned it on 3CT tonight that the documentary that they did a couple of years ago on him, I think just called Sheik. I think you can watch it on YouTube or something. Actually, I'll look that up here after.
It wasn't WWE production, was it?
No, this was a separate. It was called The Sheik, and yeah, it can be watched, the full thing, full documentary on YouTube, and it was really well done. So I recommend that. But yeah, I mean it's a bummer. I was actually talking to a friend of mine. I think it was the day that I can't remember, Tina Turner, when she passed away recently, and like we were talking about like sad versus tragic, like when somebody dies like in their 80s. What does he do?
Oh my God, what the fuck is that?
This is sad, but Iron Sheik dying is tragic. No, wait.
No,
Yeah.
Iron Sheik dying is sad, but it's not like when somebody dies when they've already passed like the average age. Like it's not
Right.
now they can die in a tragic way. Like if somebody dies like in a car crash or something. And
The Briscoe brother is fucking tragic as shit.
Yes, yeah, like that's tragic and shocking. Like, and Sheik's health, I think, in recent years, like hasn't been great. But it is sad. It is sad. So, but I think probably for what EJ and Joe, I know you guys are older than Mike and I. So, and that's not an insult.
It ain't
Yes, it is.
No, it is. It is. Yeah, fuck you, Mike. No,
Yeah,
it is though. It is though.
Again, it's factual. Remember, we're debating insult versus fact here.
That's
But
true.
like you guys probably remember Sheik as a wrestler more than like Mike and I would, right?
Right. So I became a fan of wrestling in '87, WrestleMania 3. So Sheik was in that was a part of that card. He was actually in a tag match that night. So this is really obviously past the bridge to Hulkamania, because remember he was in Bridge Hulkamania from Bob
Buddy,
Backlund.
you watched fucking Bruno wrestle.
That's
you
right. Bruno and his father wrestle, right? Yeah. No, so fucking, so obviously Sheik at that point was on the way out anyway. Like at that point, he did come back though in 90 around the time you started watching Jim in 91. He was Sergeant Slaughter's
that's what I remember him as.
That's what I remember of Iron Sheik.
There you go.
Anything else?
Yeah.
I remember when he showed up and he was Sergeant Slaughter's like second.
Colonel Mustafa, right?
Yeah, Colonel Mustafa. That's right.
But like that's what I remember, because I mean, like I was alive for his run in the 80s, but I mean, like I was born in 1983. That's like the year that Hulk Hogan beat him for the belt.
Wow, you turned 40 this year? Wow.
Yeah, I turned 40 in August. But like that is when Hogan beat him for the belt. Sheik, honestly, like he found a way to stay relevant in spite of his relevancy.
Yeah.
Because his actual pro wrestling relevancy kind of ended in 1983.
Oh, a question.
Honestly, he had a resurgence because of Twitter and him not giving two fucks about what he posted.
His shoot interviews were what made him relevant beyond the 90s. Honestly,
I'm breaking your back. Fuck it, a Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
but I will say that shit don't age well, because I tried to play some of that on my show today. I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea because it's very offensive shit. Saying certain words and certain phrases. Yeah, not gonna work out, man. Not gonna work out. So just say
he breaking your back.
Yeah. One of the funniest ones is I think someone called it the Howard Stern show. Imitate Macho Man Randy Savage, and he kept reacting, "Fuck the Macho Man."
Oh yeah, like he had no clue that it wasn't actually Savage that called it.
Do you guys remember when he won the gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania 17 because he could not be eliminated?
I literally remember that.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't take a bump out of the ring. He was the only one that couldn't. So
that's what I said on 3CT tonight. That like sadly, like that's the wrestling legacy I have of the Iron Sheik.
Right.
Yeah.
Is like entrance after him, like lapping him on like the long entryway in the Astrodome, and then him like barely being able to roll into the ring and not even taking a bump and winning the battle royal because he couldn't do anything. Like,
so wait, here's a crazy stat that I saw today. With the Iron Sheik's passing, there are only 2 people left alive who have held the WWF World Championship prior to 1990.
Hogan, obviously.
I don't know who the other one is. I just saw that stat.
I'm thinking right
Backlund,
now.
Probably.
Oh yeah, Backlund's alive.
Backlund's still alive. Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's crazy.
Good job, Jimmy. Good job.
Are you? I'm gonna look that up while we're still talking here.
No, it's definitely Backlund's still alive. I know that.
Because even Billy
I know Backlund. I'm just verifying if there's anybody else who would still be alive that held it.
Because 1990, it's Savage. He's gone. Hogan. DiBiase. Do we count DiBiase for a couple seconds?
Well, no, because he wasn't actually.
If you count Andre is gone.
Before 90. Before 90, it was Hogan, Savage, Andre, Sheik, Backlund, Inoki, Superstar Billy Graham.
He just passed, unfortunately.
San Martino, who passed away.
Yep.
Stan Stasiak. Did he pass away? Yeah. Pedro Morales, Ivan Koloff, San Martino, and Buddy Rogers. Yeah.
These are my years now.
In a way, like, okay, not officially. I guess it'll be more official, and not to sound morbid, but when Hogan passes and when Bob Backlund passes, but it almost feels like the end of an era. Like it almost feels like that section of what pro wrestling was is like one step closer to really being.
The reason why I'll slightly disagree with you on that though, Joe, is that wrestlers don't tend to live long anyway based on their history. So the fact that Hogan's still alive is actually kind of a miracle, honestly.
I mean, the fact that Iron Sheik made it to 81 is actually kind of a miracle.
Yeah,
because
Backlund's 73, and he's probably going to outlive.
Well, that's because he fucked your ass, make you humble. That's why.
That guy eats like raw Brussels sprouts for breakfast.
Who's this?
Backlund.
Oh yeah, he's fucking crazy.
He's fucking crazy.
He's got carrot juice in his veins.
But Iron Sheik also made it to 81 because he's fuck your ass, make humble. So whatever. Right. But the shoot interviews are fucking great, man.
The fact that I just sat through a fucking EC3 fucking ring entrance.
God bless you.
Why?
Wait, from what show?
Takeover New Orleans.
Okay.
And it's the North American ladder match, and he was the first person that came out.
Oh, and by the way, like we're talking about bad news, but good news.
We like good news.
Is Billie Kay, Jessica McKay announced she was pregnant today.
Very good.
Everybody's pregnant.
Everybody's getting it on these days.
Pregnant.
We can confirm that her husband and or boyfriend one time
confirmed one-time sex haver. I think it is husband. I believe it is husband.
Lots of sex going on, guys. Lots of sex going on.
Lots of sex.
They're shocking the system as out comes Adam Cole Bebe.
Wait, he gave her the shocker?
Oh,
yes, nanner.
Oh my god, let's get to the fucking topic.
That shit. Why didn't the Undisputed Era come out and just be like, shock the system?
I mean, isn't that kind of what they did?
Yeah,
I mean, sort of. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of halfway.
Oh, it's Britt Baker, baby.
Maybe copyrights, I guess. I don't know. Copyrights. I don't
know. Anything else about the Iron Sheik before we get into the actual?
No,
content?
this.
No.
If you're not easily offended, just don't look at his fucking shoot interviews. That's all.
Wait. R.I.P. Adam Cole's physique. He was in so much better shape at this New Orleans NXT show.
Oh yeah,
he's tubs up now.
Well, that was part of MJF's promo last night.
Adam bloat, baby.
And like I heard him say that.
Is that what he said?
I don't know that it registered as much as like looking at Adam Cole now.
Here comes certified pedophile.
The Velveteen Dream, in case you're wondering.
We're 2016, 2017 here? What year is this?
Yes, that's the one.
Jim, before we continue.
Yeah.
I had an idea while I was driving, listening to the Tuesday episode.
Well, that's
what I do on my drive home from work. Feel free to follow 3CT. Listen to the Tuesday shows. There's your plug for the night. Literally, I'm sitting there and you guys are going through the rest of spring cleaning, going through the soundboard. And you guys played the Gorilla, Will You Stop? That should be the soundbite when they say the magic.
Will you stop?
That should be, every time they're going to say it, that should be what you play. Not uh-oh.
Yeah, but the uh-oh is a classic. The uh-oh's a classic.
We'll say.
Like, okay, the first, like, if there's like a run where Ryan goes on like 4 of them in like a 5-minute run, hit him with the uh-ohs, and then on the last one, will you stop?
Well, there was the other week where they used there was a C word and a T word.
Mm-hmm.
And so I use 2 different bites. If I ever have to do that again, I'll use will you stop as the second one.
That's just so good.
Tostones?
Well, the C word was cunt.
I'm familiar with that word.
On that note.
And like the T word is one that's kind of like the C word, but it's more of a British thing.
Taint?
No. It's a 4-letter word.
It's another word for vagina?
Yes.
Tussie?
Trap. A trap.
Twat.
There it is.
Will you stop?
On that note, shit.
Where are we starting?
Is that Joe's topic?
Oh yeah, the Roman in the bloodline.
Yeah, Roman.
Twat is never going to be Joe's topic.
Nope. Never.
Just not a thing.
Stop.
There it is.
Wow.
He be twatting.
Maybe twat.
Will you stop?
Uh-oh.
No, follow the
It's a
conversation.
Tuesday. No. It's a 3CT thing.
Hey,
So what's the Joe? What's the premise of the Roman legacy bloodline?
Yeah, let's start with that.
Okay, so the original idea of the topic was kind of like, hey,
No heat, bitch. And you just fucking got fucking shelled by the fucking Braves.
I saw. Thank you. Fuck yourself, Mike. Joe, continue. 3-1 homework. You see that shit?
Ozzy Albies.
I know. What a fucking asshole. Anyway, continue.
so, okay, you twat. So,
You stop.
Will you stop?
so the original topic idea was basically, hey, why don't we talk about where we want to see the bloodline going storyline-wise between now and, I said SummerSlam as an endpoint because we kind of know Roman's schedule between now and SummerSlam. We kind of have a basic idea. Obviously, the storylines are building right now, so it's easy to sort of guess where it's going for SummerSlam, or at least you can kind of fantasy book where you want it to go. However, in the interim of us not doing that topic last week and kind of things that have floated around on the internet and social media this week, I came across that whole idea of whether or not Roman, in a lot of ways, is getting built up to essentially be, at the very least on paper, the greatest WWE superstar of all time. Certainly the most acclaimed, and listen, like it's hard to argue that fact right now, you know? And I think that it solidifies more and more every time you look at where he's reached at this point in the history of title reigns. And the interesting part about that one to me, and that's kind of a conversation.
All pun intended.
That's something that we kind of got into in our little group chat. But if you look at the title reigns, like I think we're like 58 days away from him being number 4 all time on the list. And then you look at those next ones and you start to think to yourself, realistically,
5 on the list.
Okay, but like,
Pedro Morales had 1,028 days, so we're gonna hit that this month.
Right. And then the thing is, like, you look at it because part of you is thinking at this point, okay, he's clearly got to lose sooner than later. But then you start to look at the next milestones on that list and you start to think to yourself, well, wait a second.
Thought to myself, self?
Like, does he need to lose sooner or later? Or did they just introduce a whole new belt so that he could basically possibly go for the record and be the all-time champion?
The latter.
It's definitely a question. And now I remember, too, the reason this came up was someone had tweeted out the question, at what point does Roman losing the title become as big a shock as The Undertaker losing the streak? And I was kind of posing the question to you guys, would it be at this point? And if it's not at this point, at what point would it be? Is it when he hits certain milestones? Is it he gets all the way to number 3 and now you're thinking, well, shit, he's not going to lose the title for another 3 years, and then he loses it like 6 months later? Is that the shocking moment? Is the reaction when he loses going to be everyone sitting in silence, like when Taker lost to Brock Lesnar? Because look, let me tell you, as someone, that's 2 people, who were sitting in the audience in New Orleans when Brock beat Taker, I don't know about you. I remember my thought was, oh shit, they rang the bell by mistake. Someone's going to get fired. That was the only thought I had in my mind. Not Undertaker just lost, not Brock Lesnar just won. Just this grand total moment of shit, somebody done fucked up, somebody about to get fired. And then they put up the graphic and it was like, what was it, 21-1,
right?
They're just like, no, wait, this actually just happened. Like, what? Like, part of me wonders if that's not going to be the reaction to Roman losing the title at a certain point. I don't think that would have been the reaction at Mania if he lost it to Cody. I don't know that would be the reaction if he lost it even as soon as like SummerSlam this year or anything. I think if we get to a place where he holds this title a lot longer, like years longer, think it might get to that place where it's just a shock.
So for the record, right now he's at one. Today is day 1012.
Acknowledge him.
Pedro Morales held it for 1028. So we're 2 weeks away from
Acknowledge me.
The next one after that would be 1238. That was Bruno Sammartino, his one of Bruno's runs. That would put us approximately around Royal Rumble time. The next one after that would be beating third place. That was Hulk Hogan's run of 1,475 days. That would put us around September of next year, which would be around Crown Jewel time. The one after that, this is where it starts getting a little silly. Bob Backlund's 2,136 days. That would put us early July 2026, which by the calendar is like Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell time. And then to be number one all time. Okay, remember, we are at 1,012 days right now. So it would be almost triple where we're at now, more like, times 2.8 or something. But Bruno Sammartino, 2,804 days. That would put us around early May of 2028.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So 5 more years.
See,
I
but
know,
here's the thing.
I know what Mike is wishing for Christmas.
Tomorrow.
5 more years.
Here's my thing, though.
No, and I don't want to turn this into but here's what I'll say to Joe's point and about the will it kind of become this shocking moment like The Undertaker? I think that there will I honestly think it's at any point now him losing would be both shocking and not shocking at the same time, because I think there came a point that we all kind of was like, okay, he's gonna hit 1,000 days. If he would have lost it before 1,000, I think there would have been a degree of shock there. Now it's like, okay, anytime that he loses, it's somewhat expected because we thought we were going to get to 1,000 days. It will also be shocking because we're starting to play this game of like, well, now they have the other title. So what's another 200? What's another two?
Who's this we that you're discussing?
The collective wrestling community, Mike Bernier excluded.
Bernier.
So like, what's another 200 days after right now to get him to that one? Well, then after that, Hogan's is only 200 more days.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, that I think is the point. I think the highest that he would get would be Hogan's and finish in third. Because like that's September of this year. That means he gets through SummerSlam. Okay. And the rumored match as of now is Brock versus Cody 3. So I don't know that anybody else is beating Roman Reigns at SummerSlam this year, right?
No, this is where he destroys fucking Jey Uso.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they have a tag match.
So like after that, like then you have to go, can we do 2 more years of this? Because it goes from September of this year to July of 2026.
So about 6 title defenses.
Like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like I look, do I think I think anything is possible at this point, but do I think it's realistic that he gets anything higher than third place? No. I don't think we get to Backlund or Sammartino. I think those are untouchable. Because
Hogan's in play, definitely. I think Hogan's definitely in play.
Hogan's absolutely in play.
I hope he beats it.
Like, and Tim on 3CT has already like labeled Roman as the greatest WWE superstar.
Oh, has he?
And man, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying there's a case there. But like I've already said, this is the greatest story the company's ever told, and I will stand by that. So at the very least, he's already part of the greatest story the company's ever told. He's without question on the WWE's Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah, definitely a case.
That to me is not in question.
What, Joe?
Who did he replace?
So what was your Mount Rushmore originally, prior to say like
I mean, I'll
2020?
tell you the guy who, if he's on my Mount Rushmore, he replaces.
What was
My
yours
Mount
originally?
Rushmore prior to today, well, probably like prior to Roman, probably would have been Austin, Hogan, Cena, Rock,
Interesting. Okay.
and
That's
to
mine
me,
also.
Roman replaces Rock.
I totally agree with you 100% on that.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
So what's yours then?
What was your Mount Rushmore, Michael?
I don't know how you don't have the fucking Undertaker in your WWE Mount Rushmore. The guy's only the most over character they ever fucking created. But he takes the place of the guy who inevitably is in the realm of having his title run beaten, and that is Hulk Hogan.
Here's why I don't have Taker on mine. Like, I don't think you have, like, without question, The Undertaker's the greatest character the company has ever written. The WWE in history would survive without The Undertaker existing.
And it would have survived without Roman Reigns.
That's a valid argument.
Well,
Yeah, he would.
Different
He would.
business model too, as well.
But so my four, because
I never had Rocky in my Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore was Cena, Hogan, Austin, Taker.
okay.
And he takes out the racist fuck that is Hulk Hogan.
Are you using a personal vendetta?
No. I'm also just calling him out for his bullshit. I truly believe that at the end of the day, Hulk Hogan was what Roman Reigns is right now. He'll come around for 3 fucking matches in a calendar year, but I'm getting more entertainment value from watching Roman Reigns in this storyline than any storyline that Hogan was involved in.
Yeah, like, okay, wait. Here's an angle for this question.
Yeah.
Here's an angle for this question, and
Go
that ties a little bit to what we were talking about before with Iron Sheik. At what point do some of these people not stand the test of time? Like, it's one thing for Bruno Sammartino or Hulk Hogan to be like really memorable when they happened 20 or 30 years ago. Are they going to be as remembered in 100 years? Are WWE fans still going to look at them like that? Are they going to look at any of them like that? Is Austin still going to be remembered? Like
Austin, yes. Austin, I think yes.
No.
Well, I mean,
No, because here's the thing. Bruno Sammartino means nothing. I have no personal connection to Bruno. I have no personal connection to Bob Backlund. I have no personal connection to the Iron Sheik because I didn't watch them like they weren't active competitors. I know Backlund wrestled in the mid 90s in that comeback run, but like whatever. But like I didn't like.
I like that.
Those guys.
Yeah, that was good.
Those guys were nothing to like my personal wrestling viewing and what I cared about wrestling.
You just don't like Bob Backlund because he beat Bret Hart.
That's
He
true.
didn't beat Bret Hart. It was because of that damned Owen threw the towel in.
No, but Jim, also here's your route also too is that's also pre-Vince Jr.
Well, no, it's just I didn't watch those guys. So like there's a generation of people like kids now that are watching wrestling. Like you ask them like what's your like what does Hulk Hogan mean to you? And they're probably going to be like, oh, he's that like fucking racist guy that comes around every now and again.
I'll be honest,
and steps over his words.
I'll be honest. My 10-year-old likes Hogan a lot though.
Well,
He actually watches his old matches.
you
No, I don't push that.
You force him to watch SummerSlam.
First of all, he's a Cena mark. He's a Cena mark first and foremost, but he does appreciate Hogan.
Okay, but I'm again, this is like when I said about how I'm talking about the bigger
general populace, right? Yeah,
the general like the young wrestling fans
what?
Now. Young wrestling fans now have no
Have like
no frame of reference of like who Razor Ramon or Diesel or Hulk Hogan or Sergeant Slaughter are. So like if somebody who's 15 years old and has been watching wrestling for 10 years, if you ask them to build a WWE Mount Rushmore, it's probably going to be none of the people except Roman Reigns and John Cena.
I feel like if there's 2 names that can probably stand longer in that is Austin and Rock because
No,
of
but see, I see what I
Rock,
see
no.
what-
Why would Rock?
I
because
see what Jim
again,
is saying though. Like if you're putting the question to say, I don't know, like a 13-year-old wrestling fan today, 12-year-old wrestling fan today, been watching it their whole life, that whole 12 years, right? You ask them, who are the 4 best WWE wrestlers of all time? There's a good chance their answer is John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, and The Undertaker. You know what I mean? Because those guys were really big in the last,
Not even Taker. Like, let's be honest.
well, yeah, like a 12-year-old.
Let's be honest.
the character was still really over, even
a
it
lot
was
less than
shitty.
what I'm thinking.
Even the work was shitty though. The character was pretty over, but I get it.
A 12-year-old sees the streak end.
At the end of the day, well, and that's the other thing that we're forgetting here.
Rock would be on that list for a lot of kids.
As much as you guys snapped that Rock would not be on that list, I think he would still potentially have a shot to be on that list. Twice in a lifetime, the fact that everything is being chopped down to bite-sized clips. How many fucking different Rock promos do you see on TikTok videos?
Yep.
I mean,
That's my point.
there's a true possibility that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would still be on somebody's list.
Right. And to add to your point, Mike,
It's the same
And-
reason why Austin has more of a shot of being on.
right. So I'm saying the Rock Austin connection gives it chance to live out
What I'm
longer.
saying though is like Austin also gets a lot of the really like you if they're counting down the 30 best moments in Raw history, at least 10 of them are still Austin moments. Even if they're really more of them should be Austin moments. But if WWE is doing a bullshit version of their list where they want stuff from the last 10 years mostly on it, they're still putting 10 Austin moments somewhere on that list.
You're not just erasing the beer bath from fucking existence. You're not erasing him.
No.
Wheeling down the ramp in a desk chair, flipping over and chugging beers. Like those moments, like it's those 30-second clips that you're seeing on TikTok and on Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels and shit like that. That keeps people like Rock and Cena in the conversation over the duration of time.
Yeah.
That's why truly I don't think Hulk Hogan can be on my list, because Hulk Hogan comes around, wrestles as many, if not less matches than fucking Roman Reigns does, and never really had great promos in WWE. He doesn't have 30-second sound bites that you see scrolling on TikTok.
No, I agree with the Hogan part, but not being relevant as time goes on, and the PR itself hurts him on top of that.
The PR relevant. I'm talking about.
Yeah, the PR things are relevant. That's Terry.
I feel like we're talking about this from a fan's perspective, not from a business perspective. Because
I just decided to call him known racist Hulk Hogan.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, if you were sitting down and being like, let's talk about this from a business perspective, obviously Hulk Hogan makes your top 4. Obviously Austin makes your top 4.
That's why he's in my Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Right, but that's
from a business standpoint. I don't think we're not here if Hulk Hogan doesn't exist. We're not here if Austin doesn't exist. I don't know if we're here. Again, you hit a certain point in the 90s, you put WCW out of business. You're not going away. You're now Walmart. You're McDonald's. You're basically untouchable. But like Cena's an all timer. And then to me, like I'm looking at, I look at this run, and like, yeah, we'd still be here if Roman Reigns doesn't exist. But like, it's the greatest story ever told. He is on my Mount Rushmore.
And the impressive part too with Roman also is that he's doing this as a fucking heel. That's the impressive part. He's doing this as a heel.
It's not as impressive.
I think
it is. I think it is.
No, people love to hate a heel.
No,
it's
but
harder to be a
the top guy. The only other guy in my lifetime seen that do that is Hogan. And only that's 2-3 years.
No, the only other guy that you've seen do it
Triple H.
in not even that. No. The only other guy that you saw do it in your childhood in a major promotion was in WCW when Flair did it or Hogan did it. WWF was the only promotion that ever ran with the good guy be the champion forever.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They were the only ones. It was always the heels in every other territory. That was a thing. Ric Flair was the NWA World Champion for like 8 years because he was a bad guy. He'd come to the town. The good guy would almost beat him. He'd cheat. He'd get out of it.
Right.
He'd still be champion.
But that was never WWE formula though, ever.
That's what I'm saying. That was. But you're talking about WWE.
That's what I mean though. I'm talking about WCW.
Well, but wrestling, like, you can't say that you've never had a heel champion before.
No,
like,
I'm talking about specifically
no.
WWE. I'm talking about WCW. I understand WCW did it before with Flair and of course Hogan later on.
And Triple H did it for like a decade in the 2000s.
Buddy,
also in
did you ever watch an episode of Monday Night Raw? Fucking, that's all it was Triple H running through fucking everybody. The only difference was that Triple H's storyline wasn't as good, but he was wrestling more than 6 matches a calendar year.
Yeah.
But was he the tippy top guy at
Yes.
that point? The tippy
Yeah.
top guy.
Yeah.
Which year was that? 2001, 2002?
Between like 2002 to about like 2009.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2010, honestly.
I mean, here's the thing. When you talk about Mount Rushmore, and this is why I hate the Mount Rushmore conversation to begin with. Let's start there. Your Mount Rushmore is your Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore is my Mount Rushmore. And we all have different reasons on why we're putting them there.
It's the same thing as star ratings.
Correct. It's stupid. At the end of the day, wrestling wouldn't exist without, the few people that we've named. Okay, that's fine. But you also have to take into account that Hulk Hogan, while it may not have survived because he could sell some t-shirts, couldn't wrestle to actually save his goddamn life. At what point does the wrestling that they're supposed to be doing harm them from being on a list? Because we're not from a business perspective or from a fan perspective. We should want to see those people wrestle more. And at the end of the day, the people that are having these longer title runs, including even CM Punk whenever he had his long one, he wasn't defending the title all that often. We were getting less from those guys. Yes, the Roman storyline makes it to where you don't have to have him in ring every week because you can do a promo, you can do a backstage bit, you can do whatever with the Usos. So, there's things that you could do. But at what point does it become, all right, this storyline's cool and everything, I kind of want to see the guy who's the world champion actually defend the title. And when does that start harming him in his run of will I be surprised that when he loses the title? No, I'll never be surprised when he loses the title because at the end of the day, inevitably he's going to lose the title to someone whenever they're ready for him to. So we can sit here and fantasy book how we would end the run and how we would do this, that, and the other. I've told you guys on this show, I think the person that should take the title off of him is Toyota Sequoia. Is that what they're going to do? Who knows? We ain't in the fucking war room fucking having that conversation. All I'm saying is I'm not going to be shocked because at the end of the day, I think Vince and Triple H and Endeavor's goal is to expunge Hulk Hogan as far away from the fucking record book as possible because guess what? Known racist. So what do? You have someone who is still alive that you can market, be the guy that you can now be like, oh, look, the longest reigning champion that's alive.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's the point,
the
though.
same reason that the New Day outlasted the Demolition's reign.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that Gunther's rewriting the Intercontinental title. It's the same reason that, so-and-so, because people don't give a shit about history. They don't. People don't give a shit about long-term history. People care about current history, tangible things that they can remember. So that is why we're getting the God Run. That's why we're getting Gunther. That's why we had the New Day, because everybody says WWE just likes to rewrite history. Absolutely, they do.
So
they'd be stupid not to.
So wait, is this going to be memorable history, or is this just going to be history until it's on to the next thing?
It will be memorable history for everybody who watched it. You see guys like that, like you, EJ, intern Mark, guys that are in their 40s or 50s that talk about the mega powers exploding and how huge that story was, and they're still talking about it to this day.
Yeah, because it's part of our nostalgia, part of our history, and
right. But because they remember it, and they remember how they felt when they watched it, because they were 6 years old, or 10 years old, or 20 years old, and they watched it in real time. For me, my first WrestleMania that I watched was WrestleMania 7. So I don't have a tangible attachment to the mega powers exploding. Do I know how big of a story it was? Do I know because I have seen clips and videos and heard people talk about it and all of that. Do I know how big it was and how important it was? Absolutely. But to me, it's not what it is to other people. So yes, this is a historic moment, and it will be an important historic moment until people like, I mean, there's kids who are 8, 9, 10 years old right now that will remember this story if they still like wrestling and care about wrestling 30 years from now, 40 years from now, when they're our age, right? That they'll still be talking about this story. But there's going to come a point 50 years from now, 60 years from now, nobody remembers the bloodline, this run. So like it will be important until nobody can remember it.
Right.
I'll say one thing though. I think one interesting thing about this all is we're also in a time now
In a world.
where like technology is different. You know, the ability to have these historical moments and just moments in general forever, it's different. Like, you know, it's impossible to go back and watch Bruno Sammartino's run. That doesn't exist. There isn't clips of it. There aren't videos. Like, yeah, there might be a couple of matches here and there, but you can't watch his 8-year run. You could watch John Cena's entire career on the WWE network right now if you want to.
Right on the cock.
You can watch Hulk Hogan's entire run in WWE on Peacock if you want to right now, you know?
Don't do
like,
that to yourself.
Right. But like what I'm saying is like there's certain ones that I feel like we're gonna know a little bit more. Like they're gonna last longer. Like they'll be available for longer. We already see it with the stuff from the 90s, with like we just said, with Austin and Rock and all the moments from Raw during the Attitude Era and all the NWO stuff. Like that stuff gets to live on because it's all there. It's all available. It's all digitized. It's all showing up on our Facebook feed still, and we can watch it whenever we want. Like it's all there. That doesn't exist for wrestling from the 70s or the 60s or the 50s. You know, there's wrestlers who were world champion, who traveled the world, who became rich as pro wrestlers that you, me, Ernest, and Mike have never even heard of.
Fuck you, Haystacks Calhoun.
Right. Like there's one, I forget when I read this. The most attended pro wrestling event in America at one point was in like 1920 something. No. And it's between two people that I, for one, have never heard of. No. And like, guess what? Nothing exists from it other than like newspaper clips that say that it happened and that like X amount of people were there and it was this huge thing. But that's it. Like, none of us are ever going to get to watch that. None of us are ever going to get to live in that moment. The stuff right now, the stuff from the last 10, 20, 30 years now, when you go back to the 80s, which is crazy to think that that's like 40 years. Shit. Fuck.
Wow.
Like, it's crazy to think how much that stuff is actually now in the kind of forever vernacular.
But also, like, do you have the same attachment? Because, like, we can watch, you know, a movie from the 40s or the 50s.
Yeah.
Like, do you have the same attachment to a movie that you watched now or whatever from the 50s than a movie that like you watch that is part of like a series that you've grown up with and kind of watch them come out in real time, which I think is going to be the difference between like people watching, like kids that are now watching clips of, you know, Austin or Rock or Triple H or whatever from, you know, 99 or 2002 versus like what they're watching in real time now. And like that's going to be like the great barometer. Cause it's all out there and it's all easily accessed on social media and all of that, which is something like obviously we didn't have, like guys that were into like tape trading like that. I was never into that world ever.
No,
like, I didn't even know it existed for a long time.
I was sort of into that,
I was intrigued by it, but I never got into it. Like the closest I ever got to it is I ordered a couple of ECW videos from RF Video back in like the mid 90s. That was it. Honestly.
Yeah, I bought videos. If anything, I bought videos from people.
Or like eBay, we would go to our like local video store and like rent pay-per-views or, you know, something. And like record them to our own VHSs, and then like we always had them to watch. But like I remember more from shows that I watched when they happened than I do from shows that I watched on tape later. So it's going to be an interesting kind of case study of what survives through the archives, and like and what people really attach to.
To answer Joe's original question though about will I be surprised? No, I don't think I'll ever really be as shocked as I was when Taker lost.
Yeah,
No, that's shocking.
I think this is one of those where we all know inevitably that this is going to end in some way, shape, or form for Roman Reigns. Sure, how we get there may affect thought processes and stuff like that, but no, I don't think that there's ever a time where I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe Roman Reigns lost the world title. Like, at least not to the level of like, oh my god, The Undertaker, a guy who we truly thought was never going to lose at WrestleMania, is now lost. Like, the champion is inevitably going to lose the title one day, whether it's by forfeit, whether it's by I've become too old and I don't want to defend it anymore.
I think I even said that in our text group is when we were discussing it is a title reign will end one way or the other. A guy's going to lose, or he's going to get hurt and have to forfeit, or he's going to hit a point and retire, and that championship reign ends and a new one will be crowned somehow.
What I will say, and we talked about this and we discussed Roman at length in the past. The fear I have is that the reign won't end the way he wants it to, in case that comes back.
Okay, yeah.
That's my concern.
Yeah.
Because if you've built this, and this is what you've done, because whomever wins the world title from him will be the most over act that you have on your roster, no matter what.
Right.
But at this point, when you're looking at his reign, 85% of it has been as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
So, whomever takes the title off of him, you have to assume is going to be a face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
you figure who's the guy that you want to start pushing to be the next John Cena, the next Hulk Hogan, the next Roman Reigns. That's the guy you put in the position to inevitably take the title off of them.
What if they don't have that guy yet?
They don't have that guy yet.
Yep.
Or that guy sitting in NXT.
Or in AEW.
I mean, Braun Breaker, Adam Page,
Carmelo Hayes.
reeling off younger guys that make sense, that could be guys that could come win the world title from him. Because, and here's the thing, if it's Cody's finishing the story inevitably, I don't think it's this year. I don't think it's at 40. If he gets to 40,
No, I agree.
If he gets to 40,
He's getting past 40.
Let's say if he gets to 40, that puts him within however many months of Hogan.
Yep.
Yeah, you're within 6 months of Hogan at that point.
Okay. If he gets to 40 with the title healthy, I don't think Cody should finish the story at 40. If that's his final chapter of the story.
Cody needs a title win before then.
Agreed.
I'll say that right now. And I know nobody wants him to win Seth Rollins' belt.
I think that's the title that he wins at 40, and I think he goes in there as a heel.
Possibly. Because here's the thing. Cody's about to turn 38. Okay.
Actually, I know who I would have take the title off of Roman Reigns. And it would be a face run for a member of the active roster right now.
And that would be
Goons.
That's what we're thinking.
because here's the Cody problem that nobody wants to talk about. Okay. He's about to be 38. He's had injuries. He had the torn pec last year. I don't know what the injury is right now, but I'm guaranteeing you that this broken arm run is because there's at least some degree of injury there.
He's banged up somewhere.
Because with the broken arm, he doesn't need to wrestle every week. So they're protecting him. Okay. There's some form of injury that Cody Rhodes is dealing with. If they're going to do a title run of some kind with Cody, they need to do it sooner or later. So if you want to finish the story with, the belt the daddy didn't win, then you got to make a choice. We're not getting to the Hogan run.
Or,
Otherwise, you get the belt that Seth has, and that could be as early as SummerSlam, but that's almost feels too early for Seth to lose.
or he gets the title win against Seth, loses it, then beats Roman next year after he passes Hogan. He does finish the Roman story, but he wins a title in between.
Yeah.
Him win that title at SummerSlam, have Austin Theory or Gunther win the Money in the Bank. They cash in, they take out Cody Rhodes, they walk out with the World Heavyweight title. And then Cody's story then pivots to the rematch at WrestleMania where he can't get it done again. Because, hey, Cody Rhodes needs some damn adversity. Torn pec, broken hand, whatever the fuck it is. But he needs some more adversity in his life. So how do you do that? You have him fucking win the world title and then lose the world title. And then lose the rematch. And he's sitting there a broken and defeated man. And he has one last chance to go after the guy who ripped his dreams away from WrestleMania 39. He's got a shot to finish fucking Roman Reigns off. And that's when he does it.
There you go.
All right. Guess that's good, right?
Next.
All right.
4 rivalries, I would say.
Yeah.
And then we can do single or tag team if we have time, and that's kind of an evergreen thing. We can do that.
Yeah.
Literally, whenever. Is Joe still there? Is he alive?
Yeah, he's in the kitchen.
He passed out.
All right.
So
Go ahead, EJ, because this is you, right?
yeah, so I found this on the internet a couple days ago. And basically it was presented as of these 4 rivalries you see on the screen here for all YouTube listeners here, or viewers rather. Eliminate one from the
What are the rivalries? Because there's people who can listen to this.
Right,
on
Austin
audio,
Rock, Rock and Roman. You got Cena and CM Punk, and then Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Who's that
There you
cancer patient? Oh, it's Shayna Baszler. A bitch got no eyebrows.
I thought you already knew that. Anyway, so how do you want to do this? You want to we're gonna spin a wheel, Jim. We're gonna spin a wheel, and then we.
Yeah, so I have a wheel of names. I have each of our names on it, and I think as we discussed before the show, the first one that comes up, you get to pick whatever rivalry you want to defend, and
why just stay?
For those of you at home, we're defending on what we want to stay on the list.
Right.
So yeah, we'll go that. So let me give the first spin of the wheel.
Big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. Stop.
We have Joe first. Joe, you get to pick which one.
Which rivalry do you want to defend to stay on the list?
Ooh, I'm gonna take Rock and Austin.
Wow,
All right. Next.
Yeah.
Would have been better if I would have had this on the screen, but EJ, you're next.
I will take Shawn and Bret.
Because I don't want to have to defend that one. It's down to me and Mike. It is me. I will take Roman and Brock. So Mike, you get Phil and John.
Worked out great. Worked out great though, because he's. I'm sure he doesn't do that one pretty well.
So here's because I had said this in the group text before last week's show, before EJ no showed on us. that because I wouldn't have defended Brett and Sean to stay because we were kind of talking about this on one of our recent shows anyway. Like, yeah, it was Joe's topic, like one of like the what happened ifs or whatever, and like what if Brett. Oh no, it was the last time we were on.
The topic, yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
if Brett never left, and if he stayed, what would have happened? If you don't have the Brett Sean rivalry, you might not get Brett leaving. Sean doesn't break his back. Owen doesn't like all of those kind of umbrella topics that we
Butterfly
were
effect.
diving
Yeah.
into. Could have possibly all been avoided if you didn't have that rivalry. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to defend that one. So who wants to start? Joe, do you want to start since you were number one?
Sure.
Can't wait.
What the fuck?
I get to go last. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Okay, wait. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Oh boy.
Oh my
the
god.
GED class of 2023.
Whoa, easy, fam.
I mean, come on. Is there anyone who would argue that this one doesn't belong on the list? It's Hogan Savage of the 90s. It's an all-time classic. It's the two biggest stars in the company at the time. Anytime they got in the ring together, it was magic. Like, even if it wasn't a great in-ring match, it was still a moment. It was still an experience. They had a match once where Austin was injured and literally couldn't take a single bump, and it was still a great match. This just feels as obvious as OJ being guilty. Can't remove that either.
Joe.
I rest my case.
Joe.
Yes.
They found him not guilty.
Yeah, but they were wrong.
Wrong.
They were wrong. Or not,
Well, the key is they found him not guilty. They did not find him innocent.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's the key.
Right. Joe used the word guilty. That's why I said that.
Plus, look at the way that Rock and Austin are looking at each other. Like, come
Okay,
on.
this is going to take a turn. Who wants to do that?
I'll take the next one.
No, listen.
me-
If I was writing some gay porn fiction about any of
And it's
Hey,
gone.
we're okay, and we're Miles.
gay porn fiction about any of these photos, it's Brock and Roman. Like, look at the sexual tension between those two men. That Roman is looking at Brock like, that's a wife beater.
Acknowledge me.
He's looking at him like, how about you take off that wife beater and you beat up this bussy?
Oh
That's what he's looking at him.
Joe, you know you're a mess, right?
Oh
You know you're a
my
mess, right?
God.
Ernest, I get it's Pride Month, but I've told you like 3 times to go, so we didn't have to listen.
I'm trying to go, but he's talking over me.
But
No,
Oh,
so I,
you got to. It's like when
okay, so
deal
I
with
have
Mark, you gotta
HBK and
talk.
Brett. To me, what made this rivalry impressive was it's the in-ring out ring thing. You know, the rivalry. They were actually friends for a long time. They also carried this company at the of these 4 periods here, for example, at the darkest period of the WWE in terms of popularity. They just carry them, and you talk about like even before the Iron Man match in Mania 12, some great matches in Survivor Series 92. These guys were, I would say of these 4 rivalries, honestly, even though I would say Austin and Rock is the biggest one of the 4, I would say the most compelling one because of the broadness of the rivalry in and out of the ring is Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. Because to this day, we still talk about the Montreal Screwjob, and that, that's another butterfly effect of all of this too. Also, so to me, between the in-ring work of these guys and the on again, off again friendship and of all that, I think this should be to stay.
And no rivalry out of all of these sold out more high schools than Brett and Shawn.
Wow.
Damn.
So
Man.
Dark periods, man. That's all the time was
In Hudson Civic Center, baby.
Hartford.
Don't be rude.
Puerto Rico.
Please refresh
Oh,
the
eat
page to hear
shit.
this.
Oh, not you. Oh my God.
It's been doing that all night.
Remember that shit back in the days? Do that with my old
God
fucking
damn it.
soundboard.
I guess
Same
what
shit.
happens when I edit the soundboard, it ends up screwing me over.
Puerto Rico.
There it is.
They did it. Nice.
Puerto Rico.
If you would have listened to 3CT, you would have known that.
I'm 2 weeks behind, buddy. Sorry.
Shocking.
2 weeks.
I'm catching up, buddy. Relax.
Jesus.
Buddy, no. Your fat ass ain't catching up to anything.
That's
unless
embarrassing. That's
I'm
embarrassing.
catching up, buddy.
Get your shit together.
Look, I thought this is DWAN. Quantum that.
Don't try to butter me up.
Fuck off.
Look, I'm tasked to defend a rivalry of the only 2 men to have defeated the Undertaker at WrestleMania. These 2 guys have they've main evented 3 WrestleManias.
I think maybe 4.
Or 4?
50, so 30,
No,
32, right?
31,
30.
30.
31, 30, 33,
What is he doing?
36, 37.
Yeah, they've main
38.
evented
4.
4 WrestleManias. They had the greatest last man standing match in the history of this great sport. Brock lifted a fucking ring with a goddamn tractor. Okay?
Farmers only. Brock.
Like,
Yeah, but remember that time Braun Strowman lifted a tractor with a ring?
it doesn't count.
That's
Braun
right.
Strowman doesn't count for anything.
I'm okay
Be
with
nice.
that.
He's hurt. Be nice. He's hurt.
I don't care.
Puerto Rico.
You know, Brock Lesnar has been one of the most consistently big match superstars in 3 decades. Roman Reigns has carried this company and been the top guy for almost a decade now. And their 2 stories have been intertwined the whole time. And they've reinvented, both characters have reinvented themselves throughout the course of the rivalry. And every one of their main event matches has been different. I think this is this period of time when you're seeing the wrestling business and the way we watch wrestling and all of that change. You're seeing 2 guys that can continue to deliver on the biggest stage every time. And whenever they're tasked to do it, they do it well.
Good selling point, Jim. That's good.
It's because I'm good at this, EJ.
Calm down, brother.
It's also that Ernest is really bad at this.
Fuck off, Mike. I want to hear your argument, though. I'm actually curious how this plays out.
Oh! You want to hear my argument?
Well, I didn't experience Punk in scene in real time, so.
John Cena, Phil from Chicago. These gentlemen wrestled 12 matches against each other over the courses of their WWE career. Let's not forget when Phil took over the new Nexus. Let's not forget the pipe bomb. Let's not forget arguably one of the biggest moments in all of WWE history. The night that CM Punk won the WWE Championship and left. He did the inevitable. He took the world title and walked out the front door. You had major news organizations picking up the fact that Phil from Chicago was taking photos of a championship that he had no legal ownership of in his refrigerator. He showed up to different places with the belt. He made walking out on the establishment cool. And who was Mr. Establishment? Mr. Insert new logo for a t-shirt here. John Cena. The corporate man. The company man. I'll always give a 5-star review because I love teamwork. If there isn't a bigger good versus evil here. It's the company man against anti-establishment. At the end of the day, Phil took his ball and went home. Only after they let him do it the first time with the WWE Championship. Phil from Chicago, John Cena. When you look back at it, that Money in the Bank match, go back and compare that match to the best match from the other three in this conversation. It's hard to find a match that's better than out of these other rivalries than that Money in the Bank match. It's simple. Every time those guys stepped in the ring, it was gold. Whether it was a Monday Night Raw, whether it was Money in the Bank, whether it was anything else. The only thing that they didn't do together was main event of WrestleMania.
Ooh, which all of the other ones did. That's
Exactly.
fair. I didn't even think of that.
Yep.
Wait, Phil never main evented WrestleMania?
Nope.
No, he never
I
did.
know, I'm just kidding. I just don't hear people say it.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Wait, so here's a question for you guys. If you could watch one more match from any one of these four rivalries, and both guys are in their prime, which one is it?
I mean, I can tell you which one it's not.
It's not Shawn and Brett.
Hey, there it is. He got it.
Ooh,
Too long.
Big shocker from Mike.
Probably Brock and Roman from Mania 31.
No. You're not rewatching the.
Oh,
You're not rewatching.
You're getting both guys at the height of power.
They're having one more match with.
They have one more match at the height, because quite frankly, you could have guys at the height of their powers at two different points of their career.
Yeah.
Like Roman, I would say is probably height of powers right now, but Brock, when was his height of powers? When he was doing fucking moonstar presses and actually landing them? Like, you know what I mean?
Someone say his return in 20,
like when he first came back. So both guys in their prime, like height of powers, injury free. I'll take Rock and Austin because I don't know that we ever got both of those guys at their peak, because even by the time we got it at WrestleMania 15, Austin had already been dropped on his neck and his career changed.
That's a good point.
So we never got that match with both of their guys at their absolute peak. So yeah, give me Rock Austin.
Yeah, to me the only choice is either Rock Austin or Punk and Cena.
I don't know. I love Brett and Shawn matches though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But
nobody wants to get a fucking Iron Man match. Stop.
No. Well, we're not saying specific matches. We're saying height of powers.
Buddy,
but so wait, here's my thing though. Like, to be perfectly honest, and even Jim, I feel like as a Bret Hart fan, you can admit this. Look, I'm the biggest Shawn Michaels fan. Shawn Michaels is like my favorite wrestler of all time. I can admit this. Both of those guys have had incredible matches with other people, and they've had some good matches with each other. I don't think they ever had a 5-star match against each other. Punk and Cena had a 5-star match against each other at least once. Rock and Austin had a 5-star match against each other at least once. I think you maybe even can argue
SummerSlam 2022.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you can argue even Roman and Brock have at least one that's a 5-star match. Don't think you can argue that for Brett and Shawn. Their best match is probably the Iron Man match, and that shit is not 5 stars.
And to your point, I would probably pick Brock and Roman, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I to this day, I think Brett's best dance partner was Steve Austin. That Austin Brett at WrestleMania 13 is Brett's best match. To me, it's Austin's best match, and to me, it's one of the best WrestleMania matches.
Top 3 all time, easily, and you can put it.
You love to throw top 3 and top 5 around a lot. If you actually counted out the number of times you said top 5 or top 3, you'd have a list of about 30.
Yep. That's the top 330.
I've heard people call that the best match of all time. I don't agree personally, but I've heard people say it.
Yep.
Like on podcasts and stuff. Like I've
people have opened up their mouth and said those words.
Yeah, no, but look, nobody's ever opened up their mouth and said those words about Brett and Sean. And
No,
as well.
no. In fact, that's probably the most polarizing of the bunch because the people who say they love the Iron Man match, people say they hate it, but they think it's overrated.
I'll still stand behind the fact that I think that Brett's best dance partner was Owen.
I could agree with that.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could. Yeah, and to be honest with you,
Owen was his best dance partner. I just think that Vince didn't fucking like. If Vince would have done the Bloodline storyline with the Hart family,
yeah,
at least you would have known you would have gotten better in-ring matches.
That's for sure. No, I will say though the two Owen matches from SummerSlam '93 and then Mania 10 versus
Brett.
was the other two, yeah, Austin and Brett.
My brain hurts.
The best Shawn Michaels Bret Hart match was the one at Survivor Series where Bret Hart had his brothers and Shawn had a bunch of people in mass.
Oh wow, from like '93 or whatever.
Yeah,
92
from the Boston
It was
Garden.
supposed to be Jerry Lawler, not even Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels
93 because it was right before the Rumble '94 and WrestleMania 10.
No, I think Brock and Roman is the best answer, honestly.
My answer to the question of one final in the prime, it's the feud that I defended. It's Phil.
I feel like that's valid.
It's Phil and John. You give me big fight feel. You give me the WrestleMania main event that Phil from Chicago never had, and you tell me that we're gonna rerun back fucking Money in the Bank. You can sign me up for that twice on Sunday because fuck yeah, let's run that bitch back.
I want to watch that now.
Coming from someone who is not the biggest Phil from Chicago fan of all time.
You don't say. You don't say. I didn't know that. That's shocking.
You know what else is shocking? Fuck Bret Hart. Here we are.
I'm gonna watch that now. Actually, to fucking.
All right, so we defended him. So I'm gonna put a poll up on the Twitter page tomorrow night, where the fans will vote for based off of our argument.
I always put polls on my Twitter page.
Shut up.
Thank you, Joe.
You need to leave.
Damn it.
You need to leave.
Fucking take 3 after dark.
That's all we are, buddy.
Every time.
So I'll put a poll up on Twitter, and we'll see whose argument saves based off of our arguments. Vote for which one you would get rid of. Now, the question to you guys: which one do you get rid of?
Oh, Brett and Sean.
Brett, I defended it. It has to be Brett and Sean because they didn't have the High of Powers match other than the Iron Man match, and that's here or there. I would say in the 2 times I've seen the Money in the Bank match versus the Iron Man match, Money in the Bank matches from Cena and Punk is superior than the Iron Man match, and I'm not taking out fucking Roman and Brock or Austin and Rock, so it's got to be unfortunately Brett and Sean.
Yeah, I mean, Brett and Sean gave us probably the most discussed moment in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, they had good matches. But I also think they had contrasting styles. I think there came a point by the time Brett was at the top of the company and Sean wanted to be at the top of the company that there was jealousy and dislike on both sides that prevented them from having their best work. And it's a rivalry that, again, we talked about it multiple times, that set off a series of events that not only drastically altered the company, but people and families' lives forever. So even just beyond the scope of in-ring rivalries, I would eliminate Brett and Sean.
All right, so we're all in agreement. Fuck Bret Hart.
That's not what we're in agreement on. But
Anytime I'm gonna get Jim just to slip me like, yeah, you're right. And this is motherfucker.
nope, no, sir. You're gonna have to wake up a lot earlier.
way out of line, way out of line.
To get
Not
me
way out of
something like
line.
that.
Personally,
I'm no EJ.
thank fucking God. I can only deal with one of them.
All right, so one more topic, or
It's up to you guys. We can do it. I don't care.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, we can go. Yeah, these can go pretty rapid fire.
okay,
And
single
like,
tag team.
if we bring the 5, like if somebody picks one that's on your list, then your list then gets smaller. So we'll go one at a time. Who wants to start?
I'll make it really easy. I didn't make a list, so we'll do.
Hi, Carol.
That sounds about right. Mike or EJ, you want to start? Or you want me to kick
Mike,
us off?
go first.
I gotta get something for the wife. So somebody else.
All right, I will kick us off. I will start with Big E.
Max, go.
Who?
Big E.
Is that melatonin, Michael?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh,
I thought you meant that about Big E. I was like, damn, you're not allowed to
Yes,
say
Big E
that.
is melatonin.
No, that would be melanin. That would be
Oh.
melanin.
That's close.
good one. Good save.
Jesus Christ, you two. I'm gonna go with Big E as a singles competitor.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I always thought more of Xavier and Kofi as like the New Day tag team.
All right, EJ.
I'll definitely go singles.
Honestly, man, when I put this one on paper, my first thought was tag team, and
Okay.
then in that New Day run. So I'll go tag team with Big E.
All right, my first one, Johnny Gargano.
Oh,
Ooh,
That's good.
that is a good one.
I'll go singles. I haven't seen much of his tag team work, really, honestly. Maybe a couple of things, but I've seen more of his singles work, so I'll go singles.
I have an answer. While Jim's
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've watched Johnny Gargano wrestle since he started on the indie scene. Basically, I've seen him. I've seen Fat Johnny Gargano.
Tebow and killed Ronan.
Yeah. And the thing is, my fandom of Johnny Gargano definitely wanes more than anyone else. There have been times where Johnny Gargano has been my least favorite wrestler to watch in the ring. There have been times where he's been my absolute favorite wrestler to watch in the ring. It's definitely gone back and forth. Here's my thing. I think sometimes as a singles wrestler, Johnny Gargano is doing a better job of convincing us all he's a good wrestler than he is actually a good wrestler. However, in a tag team setting, like especially with him and Ciampa and all the work they did in NXT, it's fucking awesome. Amazing. Loved every second of DIY. Really excited that it seems like DIY is coming back on Raw sooner than later. So you know what? Johnny tag team.
Johnny tag team.
It's harder for me because like I saw Johnny Gargano live at a indie show here locally one time, but it was like
It's okay.
it was right before his NXT run and stuff. So like while the tag team stuff is great to me, I will take Johnny in a singles.
Oh yeah, you're from PA. You probably did see a whole bunch of Chikara.
No, this actually wasn't even Chikara. This was just it's a company that doesn't even exist anymore. Legacy Wrestling. He wrestled. Fuck, I
Did
don't
you ever
remember who he
wrestle?
wrestled.
Did you ever go to a Chikara show?
I never did.
Wow.
Yeah, I've only really been into like the indie stuff in the past, since 3CT started, so within the last decade. I did check out a Excellence, which was kind of like Chikara's baby little brother. I know like a lot of those guys kind of did double duty.
Oh, like when they had like the 7 random little companies when they shut
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, it was kind of one of them.
It's fun. For the record, as I'm the one who posed Johnny wrestling, I will go and say I would probably pick Johnny tag team because I love DIY. Even his work with Horrible Back Tattoo and Chikara Icarus and Chuck Taylor.
Oh, when he joined Fist.
Yep, when he was in Friends in Similar Tights.
He's
Even
a good
with
tag
Ronan,
team wrestler.
even with Ronan, when it was him and Swan or him and Chucky T.
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up for Johnny Tag Team, but I will also say, sign me up for, and this is a, if NXT has a rivalry to add to that big board that we just talked about, that Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa fucking rivalry.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit more of that love in my life and fucking sign me the fuck up for another match between the two of them.
All right, EJ, you got one?
Yeah. Well, you use your boy here, Bret Hart.
I'd just rather him not be on the show.
Oh,
Singles.
Jesus Lord.
Yeah, Hart Foundation was a great tag team, but I mean Bret Hart as a singles guy, I mean he became world champion. It's hard to argue that against whatever they did as a tag team, you know?
Yeah, I'll go singles, man. Like Heart Foundation was great. But I mean, 5-time champion, did it as heel, did it as face. Great intercontinental title runs.
Hart Foundation
singles holds
was
up for me.
for the fucking stew.
Yeah, I'll go singles as well too. Well, although they were really good together, tag team.
You have to go fucking singles because they booked the fucking Hart Foundation as a favor to fucking Stu Hart. It wasn't because they wanted Bret to be a tag team star. It's because he was trying to get Anvil a job.
All right, who was next? Mike?
No, I'll go with mine.
Okay.
I will go with Crush.
He was what?
Joe was really excited for Crush.
What tag team was this one again? Fuck.
Wait, does
Are
this
you
count?
fucking kidding me?
Wait.
First off, he was in Demolition, you shithead.
Oh yeah, right. I'm trying to forget about that fucking demolition.
Ernest, shut up, you twat. Does this also
Hey, fuck off?
Does this count when he was in Chronic?
Where?
What was the question?
Does this count when he was in Chronic?
Sure.
Does this count when he was part of the Nation of Domination?
That's right. He wasn't that fucking.
No, we don't want to count that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, shit. His single stuff was rough.
His singles runs were somewhere between hot and garbage and disrespectful to hot garbage.
Yeah, but I mean, did you ever watch a Chronic match? Like, it wasn't that much better. But at least, like, Chronic was just like, yo, you know how much this guy sucks? Look at this guy that looks like him. He sucks too.
Crush's best singles match was watching Doink pull out a fake arm and hit him with it.
I don't know.
Because they both suck.
I don't know. Wait. Which version of Crush is your favorite version? Was it Aloha Crush or was it I Have Face Paint and Mr. Fuji Crush?
It was BDSM fucking Crush.
No, I like the evil singles Crush.
Yeah, I'm gonna go singles Crush, but
Nation
only
Domination Crush.
I'm going singles Crush, but only because Chronic fucking sucked. Chronic was like the biggest trick that WCW pulled on us. They really had us thinking that was a good tag team.
Who was we?
I'm telling you, people thought it was a good tag. They brought them to WWF.
That was because they were young and under contract.
I mean, touche.
All right, Mike, next.
All right. WWE Hall of Famer and former a bajillion-time tag team champion, Booker T.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
I only come to fire,
buddy. Good fucking tag team. See, Harlem Heat's a top 5 all-time tag team.
Like all-time?
Yeah, they're real good.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they'll be one of Ernest's top 30 top 5s of all time.
But here's my thing. It's kind of the same like the Bret Hart argument, right? Like Booker T did go on to be the world champion as a singles wrestler multiple times. So it's hard to say he was more successful as a tag team wrestler than a singles wrestler. So, and he's pretty entertaining by himself too. Like that's the thing. Like he didn't need to be in a tag team act. Like the tag team tag team was better for Stevie Ray than it was for Booker T. Booker T shined just fine by himself. I'm gonna go singles.
I'm with you there. And Harlem Heat was fucking fantastic. But singles, Booker T was a fantastic character. He was a world champion. He was the king of wrestling. I mean, he's done everything there. So I'm gonna go singles.
What's really making it difficult for me is like because I was more of a WWF guy over WCW, is I didn't watch a ton of Harlem Heat stuff, and because I took my time away from wrestling when Booker T was doing a lot of his singles work, I don't have a huge frame of reference for each, but for the world title and King Booker runs alone, I'll go singles.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go tag team solely for the point that he cut maybe one of the greatest promos of all time.
The N word.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
I can say it. I can say it.
No, you can't.
On the show, you can't.
Bitch, I'm blacker than you. I can say it. That's a joke.
You can't say it on this show. You can't.
Don't make me show you my credit score.
You are whiter than loose leaf paper, my dog.
I wouldn't use it anyway. I hate that fucking word. So.
All right, EJ, I think you're next.
All right. Kevin Nash / Diesel, whatever.
Ooh. So okay, I know the argument I keep making, like they'd be world champion or whatever, but fuck it, the Outsiders changed the industry. Like that one goes above just being a world champion. The Outsiders changed the industry. I'm gonna go tag team on this one.
That's the correct answer right there. That's the correct answer.
Yeah, I'll same reason as Joe. I'll go tag.
I guess I'm being the only one that's going to take this competitor. That's great. Love it.
I mean, it's valid. It's valid.
Here's the thing. He was world champion before he became part of the NWO. That's all I'm saying. He did hold the WWE title before being let go or whatever the contract bullshit and going over to WWE or WCW. Yes, he was part of a revolutionary thing. But that also was revolutionary because of the third member of the faction that was arguably the biggest face in professional wrestling at the time. Literally turning his back on everybody. If the third member was Sting, does anyone not outside of a WCW territory actually give a fuck? Just being real. I don't know that anyone really cares outside of like the lower like 15 states in the fucking Southeast if it was Sting. But because it was Hogan, it made it like national attention.
You know, we've done the for a future topic idea. Write it down. Maybe we'll put it on a wheel at some point. We've done the what if Brett never left WWF?
What if the third man was Sting?
Or what if the third man just wasn't Hogan?
We did that. We did that actually a couple years ago.
But here's the thing too. I also think what made, I mean, obviously Hogan being the third man was gigantic, but I also don't think the first two men could have been anybody but Hall and Nash at that point.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you.
You know what I mean? So like,
but okay, but let's talk about it from then. You know, you have a guy who is one of the best Intercontinental champions at the time in history, and you have a guy who's a former world champion. If the first two members of the NWO were fucking Vincent and fucking Six Pack, does anybody actually give a fuck either?
That's my point.
But he had to be a single star to get to that point. That's what I'm saying.
True.
If he would have just been Johnny fucking Pencil Dick who just came over because his contract was expired and he looked cool, it would be like, hey, we brought in Scotty Flamingo. It's like, great, fucking Raven's here. That's all I'm saying. It's
I agree with you. It's a good argument.
I mean, literally, me and you are called the fucking Fat Siders for a fucking reason. I understand it. I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying, if he would have been someone that had all of his world title success after the formation of the NWO, I would have been slam dunk tag team, or I would have been slam dunk tag team because the tag team got him to that point. But he was a world champion on the other show multiple times before the tag team became a thing.
No,
Plus-
it makes sense.
Good,
It
good
makes sense.
argument.
plus-
Good argument.
You guys forgot the main argument for why you'd pick tag team, so he wouldn't actually have to wrestle matches and blow out his quads. Wow, guys, really? Come on. This one fucking writes itself. The guy can't stay healthy, and you're like, nope, we're not even taking the injury fucking joke. Nope.
Anyway, who's next?
I don't remember who started that one because these are going way much longer than I thought they were going to. If
Maybe
I'm being totally
one
honest
more
about
round.
this topic.
Let's do one more round.
Okay.
So I'm up
Not
next.
with me. I don't have one.
Shocking.
Remember, you don't just do the list.
Edge.
Oh man.
Singles, easy. That's easy. Edge and Christian, all-time great tag
I know
team.
it's easy. I agree with you. I know it's easy.
But Edge is a singles guy. I don't know, like next level.
No, he's definitely singles. It's a little tougher than you give credit for.
I mean, although.
I mean, do you just want to erase all of fucking TLC from your fucking
Well, no.
existence?
Okay,
I mean-
wait. So here's now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh.
Well, no, because the thing with Edge is like, well, he did have like a hugely successful singles run, and there's no denying that.
Usually being an understatement.
Not only were Edge and Christian a fantastic tag team that like kind of stand out in the annals of time, so was Rated RKO. Like he kind of as a tag team wrestler, Edge has kind of proven that when you put him together with a partner, you can get magic. Like it's got to be the right partner. But I mean, even when he teamed with Rey Mysterio for a while in like 2002, it was great. Even when him and Hulk Hogan held the tag titles for a hot second, that wasn't like a horrible thing. Like Edge actually might be a quintessential tag team guy more than anything else. Like at the end of the day, if Edge had never become a singles wrestler, I think he'd still be a legend based on his tag team work.
Yeah, of course.
And that says a lot. Because I don't know how many of these other guys you could actually say that about. Like if Booker T had never gone any higher than Harlem Heat, would we still be talking about Booker T today? We'd be talking about Harlem Heat maybe.
Right.
I don't know that we'd be talking about Booker T individually. Edge didn't only have Edge and Christian. Edge did have Rated RKO. Edge did have other tag teams. Like Edge might still be in the conversation as like one of the greats, even if he never became like a singles superstar. So let's go tag team on Edge.
I'm just glad that you talked yourself out of
I really
a
did.
snap fucking decision to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tag team because without the two of that, without Edge, there is no Edge and Christian. There is no real good feud with the Hardy Boys. There is no TLC, matches that have withstand the tail of time, and that's 100% because legitimately they were tag team matches. So sign me up for tag team.
Jim, should he go?
You can give yours.
Oh, I did. I said singles.
Okay. I will go. I'll go tag team because I think the TLC matches, the rivalry with the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys, it changed. It changed like what tag team wrestling was at the time, and like it just kind of wrote this new chapter in time in WWE. And then like I mean Edge and Christian, an all time when the product was more about entertainment than it was about matches in the ring, those guys absolutely excelled at everything they did. It doesn't take away how good Edge is as a singles wrestler, the Rated R superstar, and like even now in his comeback, like he's put on some classics in his return, but like the Brood, the story with him and Christian as a team, I would take Edge as a tag for sure.
All right. I guess it's my last one.
Michael.
I'm going to do this one just because I haven't had enough hate in my heart so far tonight.
Just do it.
So, Ronda Rousey.
Jesus Christ. Singles.
Rest of the week.
Singles. Like, because I think right now we're only seeing what the beginning of her as a tag team is, and the problem is it's all depending on the WWE actually booking the women's tag division. So, but like, especially, I mean, yeah, the second singles run since her return has been meh, but like that initial run from her debut to when she lost at 35, like that shit was banging. Like Ronda was really good in that initial run, and for no good reason whatsoever. So yeah, singles.
Good in the same sentence.
Yeah, I don't know what you were watching or how drunk you were at the time. I don't recall any of this Ronda Rousey.
I don't give a damn about your bad fucking take about Ronda Rousey. Where's she at? Where's that song at? Where's Pat Benatar when I need her? Joseph, you want to give yours? I'm gonna go last because we're gonna go on a great tyrant, and then we're gonna go to fucking Wrestlers of the Week.
I guess I'll go tag team just because if I never watch her wrestle another singles match again, it'll be too soon. And I actually do kind of like Ronda and Shayna as a tag team. I think it's the closest, other than like the Kabuki Warriors, to like a real tag team in the women's division so far on the main roster, other than like Billie Kay and
Damage Control.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like as a 2-person unit, like they give me like Legion of Doom, you know, and like you haven't had a tag team like that before.
They give me Legion of Doom vibes too, where fucking everyone's like, "Oh fuck, we gotta wrestle these fucks. We're gonna get hurt." Fucking wrestles a fucking carnage. Jesus Christ. Is everybody giving their Ronda Rousey take before I go on my tyrant?
I'm good.
No, Shane McMahon. I'm not picking this shit. Fuck that.
What?
Shane McMahon, Jim, please.
What? No, fuck off. Like, are we really doing this? Like, why even have a topic where we're not all going to participate?
No,
Like,
I'm being funny, bro.
Like, come on the fuck on, man.
I mean, do we have Ronda Rousey? I mean,
buddy, if I'm the one,
I know. This is your
I mean, I feel like
Michael.
this was
Fucking
brought up
A,
so
man.
you could go on a rant, but
God damn it. Fucking singles, whatever.
all right, I won't go on a rant to save Jim, because Jim is fucking tired, and I can see it in his face. The correct answer is tag team, because they'll never book the fucking tag team women's title, which means I'll never have to watch another fucking Ronda Rousey match again.
Tell us how I really feel, Michael.
oh, he has.
Buddy, I told you I wasn't going to do that because I want Jim to go to bed before 2 a.m. So that's my fucking rant about Ronda Rousey. More on that later.
Wrestlers of the week.
All right, Wrestlers of the Week. For some reason, we fucking let Ernest back in this shithole.
Yeah, I know. Fucking van. New York City.
Should have banned you.
Can't do that.
Joe, who you want for the first Wrestler of the Week this week?
Do I get the first one?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, you do.
Ooh.
Hey, play that Matt soundbite. Who
Gives a shit.
Who gives a shit?
Seth Rollins.
Joe took Franklin. Jim?
Give me Orange Cassidy. Successful defense of the All-Atlantic International Galactic Championship.
I know you think that you're gonna pin me with the fucking evil after fucking that bullshit. Ain't happening. Give me Chris Statlander.
Give me the big Goont himself. Big match. Nice match against fucking Kevin Owens on Monday.
Joseph, you're up.
It's gotta be someone from Europe. What? Fucking, I don't know. Like this has become like if you're in Sunday school and you don't know the answer, so you just say Jesus. Orange Cassidy.
Already been taken.
You're so bad at this, Joe, I swear.
EJ, you're not much better.
Fuck off, I got a list.
Because you pick a name from the one match that you actually watched this week.
Hey,
so don't sit there
Phil,
and harass Joe.
It was an A+ match, though.
I don't care.
Fuck off.
You're lucky this week because there wasn't a lot of great options.
Exactly.
Right.
Joe,
EJ,
take that old.
you've picked somebody who wrestles a single match on Raw
I picked Gunther.
has
What's wrong
no
with Gunther?
context.
What's
No,
wrong with
shut up.
Gunther?
No. I'm not talking about this week, dumbass. I'm talking about other weeks where you'll pick the one match that you watch on Raw when there's been 14 wrestlers in all of wrestling that have had successful title defenses or won titles.
Hold
Don't sit here and shit on Joe.
Let's backtrack this, okay?
Yeah, that costs money.
Easy.
Fucking hell.
Since April, okay? This motherfucker's picked Wardlow, Solo,
The worst run of his career.
Solo Sikoa, who main evented an episode of Monday Night Raw, Roderick Strong for getting a graphic that he is all elite, Shinsuke Toyota for making his return. Didn't wrestle yet, but they announced his return. And then we awarded him Chris Statlander and Carmelo Hayes last week. My God.
He made his best picks of the year.
I'm not seeing a problem here, personally.
Oh, hold on. And he nominated Omos once.
Yeah.
Because he's tall.
He almost got away with it.
I'm not seeing a problem. I'm not seeing a problem here, personally.
I'm defending Joe. Don't you sit there and try to badmouth Joe and his picks when yours are just as bad.
That's
That's
right,
all I'm
because
saying.
it's Gay Pride Month. He'll defend you in February.
Jesus.
Christ almighty.
You had your turn.
Stop. You
Thank you,
fucking
Jim.
God damn it.
What?
That is probably the best joke of the fucking show in the last 3 years. I swear to God.
Jim, do you want to make picks?
LA Knight. He qualified for Money in the Bank where he should win.
On SmackDown, right?
Dummy.
My turn.
Again, you guys thought you were going to do this to me. Ain't going to happen. Give me the new NXT #1 contender for the women's title. Give me.
I'm not trying to do anything for the record.
Wait, what do you think they're trying to do?
I'm waiting for Ernest to make his last pick official, and then I'll do it.
Jay White.
Already been taken, you dumb fuck. Pay attention.
Blackpool Combat Club.
Which members? I'm not fucking. You're
Both,
not.
all three. Y'all wrestled.
Who were the three?
The three. It
Not
was...
Uter or not Danielson. Claudio,
Jesus Christ.
Mox, Uter.
It's getting late, Jim. Fucker.
For the record, it was what I was saying was I was waiting for one of y'all to try to stick me with putting fucking Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler on here.
I wasn't trying to do that.
Oh, I didn't know they did anything.
To be honest,
I know they did anything this weekend. This week.
did they wrestled? They wrestled, right?
Yeah, they beat Casey Catanzaro and fucking Caden Carter.
They got a paycheck. Interesting.
To be honest,
Cool.
I didn't watch Raw on Monday, so
I'm just glad that we've gone 2 weeks with them being the women's champions and neither week they've been nominated. That makes me so much happier on the inside.
You know what? Go Bears.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off with the go.
No, you fuck off.
Fuck.
Go Bears, baby. Call the
Buddy,
cup,
okay.
baby.
Hey, you
Stop,
want to say
EJ.
go Bears? Figure out how to
EJ,
stop the cold.
you're not even a Panthers fan, so don't even try to come
We
in here
celebrated like
and
they
rile
just
me up
won
about
the
it.
Stanley Cup
Fuck
early.
the Heat. Fuck the Panthers.
Fuck the
Fuck the
Cowboys.
Rangers.
Definitely fuck Notre Dame.
What do we do in the next huddle up?
I don't know. I'm on vacation starting now.
Oh shit! Next week you'll miss next week's show you out, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna actually have to show up 2 weeks in a row. How about that?
I don't know. If there's a game 6, I'm not showing up.
EJ, I sat and watched my team
Don't care.
tonight.
My team. Who's your team?
The Bears played tonight.
Oh, game 1
dickhead.
tonight was tonight. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was
I missed
tonight
I missed the fucking game. Damn it!
because I can watch my team in podcast.
Why can't they put the Calder Cup on the same night as Stanley Cup? I don't understand that.
Because it doesn't matter. It's they're not competing against each other.
This guy underneath both of us, Jim, is the biggest idiot in the fucking world. Literally.
You'll be
don't
okay.
get it. I truly fucking don't get it.
You'll be okay. Go Bears, motherfucker!
Shut up.
I hope Jokic drops 60 and then fucking nut sacks all of your fucking Heat.
Oh, we're losing the series. I'm not worried about that.
Buddy, it ain't going 6.
But guess
You'll
what?
be here next week.
Hey, guess what,
You're
Celtics fan? You're still home, motherfucker. You're
Hey,
still home.
And guess what? And when
Guess
you
what?
guys
What?
lose
What?
life, it doesn't matter because you'll be in the same place You fuck. I'll see you next week on the show because your season will be over.
2 finals in the last 4 years.
0 championships in the last however many years.
Last time you won a title, fucking George Bush was president.
Okay, and you keep telling me that Eric Spoelstra's this great coach, but he can never get the fucking job done in the finals when LeBron James isn't there. Let's have that conversation.
Michael.
I'm ready for that. On second note, let's not. Send your hate tweets to @EJChristian7. Love Big Jim. Click his fucking link tree on all of his social medias. You can follow me at They Call Me Burn. Fuck the Heat. We'll see you Thursday night because you're getting fucking eliminated. Good night.
Go Celtics.
Good night, everybody.